Here we have the 2017 Toyota Land Cruiser LC200 body. This is the full-size Land Cruiser, not the smaller Prado version. So this has a keyless entry, so I have the key in my pocket. So I just click here to open it or touch this to lock. Oh, give it a few seconds. There you go, unlocked. Okay, looking at the interior. First glance, this car has the black leather interior, but the owner has put these cloth seat covers. Start, you have a cubby on this side. You got 4 automatic window switches. You got 3 power memory seats. Okay, let's go inside. When you first enter the vehicle and as you exit, the steering wheel remains in the forward position. That way you can easily enter and get out of the vehicle. However, when you start the car by depressing the brake and pressing this button, the steering wheel whirs back to your original position where you set it at. Let's close the door. Let's see if it has the good FUD we want. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. First, let's turn on the AC. Just press the fan up button. You got dual zone climate control, and I'm pretty sure the back has its own climate control too. Now this head unit right here, this is what you get with the local unit, the local Philippine market unit Land Cruiser. If you opt for the Dubai versions or other imported versions, usually you're gonna get the bigger screens that looks like a Tesla screen, but for this one, for the local units, we get this. It's not exactly the best, but it does the job. It's very similar to that of a 2016 onwards Fortuner, an Innova, or the Alphard. Let's look at the gauge cluster. For gauge cluster, okay, we have our temperatures over here. We got our battery voltage meter on the right side, the fuel, and for the center gauge, it is again very similar to that what you'd find of in a Fortuner, Innova, or Alphard. You cycle it through. Cycle through this thing the exact same way as that. Okay, there you go. Okay, cruise control switch is over here, bottom right, typical Toyota. To your left, okay, you have power folding mirrors. There you go, that folds. This one I'm not sure of. This is for the parking sensors, and this is to clean your headlights. You have a small cubby here. It's very shallow, it's just like that. I don't know what that is for. Moving on to the center, you have your high 4 and low 4. That's for your gearing. If you want to go off-road, okay, you're going to put it in low 4. Don't do that on road. Never do that. You got your heated seats over here. There. Oh, actually, this is the ventilation part. This is ventilated seats. And this is for the heated seats. There you go. And that's for both sides, passenger and driver. Cubby here. This one is a bit deep. Goes all the way in like that. You have your power mode. This one, the second, what that does, it makes your car start from second gear. That way it's not jerky if you're coming from a standstill. This is your traction control off, and this is your diff locker. You got 2 cup holders here in the middle. You got your old style handbrake, which I prefer. Here in the middle, you have this huge armrest. It's just really wide. That's good for like a seat. I mean, someone can sit here. Don't, but I mean, someone can. Open it up. You got this cool box. So it's like a cool box. Just press that power there. You hear it turning on, turn it off. Over here, you have your glove box. It's not exactly big for a car of this size, but it's okay. Okay. For your rear view mirror, I was expecting it to look to be something like borderless ones, but apparently even a car at this price point still doesn't have the borderless ones. You have your sunroof switches here. This is for the tilt, and then the sides for the slide. Your lights are here. Then the sunroof is a bit large. It's not panoramic. It doesn't go all the way to the back, but it's pretty big. Okay, now I'll turn off the car. Then let's move on over to the back. See, as you can see, the steering wheel just went back. That way I can go out of the car easier. Okay, at the back. There you go. Same with the front. You have a cubby here, although this is like 3/4 the size of what you have in front. You also have automatic window switch, which is good. Light there, big space here. Yeah, let's hop in. You have a grab handle here. My first video I reviewed a 1997 S320W140, and I noted how much legroom you have with that car. But that is a limo car. That is basically a limo car. It's a long wheelbase model. So it's normal that that would have a bit more legroom than this, but this is nowhere near lacking. I'm not tall myself, not at all. I'm just 5'6", but this is really big. Even if you're 6 foot, 6'3", no problem here, that I'm sure. Seating for 3 abreast, no problem. Again, this car is extremely wide. This middle seat is like this big. Even if you're a bit on the, how do you say this? The bigger side, you'll fit here. You have your own climate control here. Oh, there's 2 sides. So this car has a total of quad zone climate control. Okay. Then we can go to the back. Even the back door has a nice sound to it. See if it makes a good thud. Okay, that's not bad. It's not the best, but that's not bad. Looking at it from the back, that's a Land Cruiser from the back. Okay, so this being the local model also means that it does not have the automatic tailgate. You have to open it manually. Over here. Over there, you pull this. It goes up. And it being have a split tailgate, you have to pull the second latch, and this one folds down. From here, you can have a picnic on that. You can sit there, you can chat beside the beach or wherever you're taking your Land Cruiser off-road if you want to. Third row seats can sit up to 3 people abreast. Again, this car is pretty wide. This doesn't have the automatic seats, the 1-button switch where everything just goes down. This still has the old style Toyota that it folds to the side. So it does hinder your room practicality. It does hinder you from putting really big square boxes in there. But I guess it cuts costs down. You pull these handles right here, and that's supposed to go up when they're folded down. But that's all you get. No automatic buttons. Okay. Push this back up again. It's not automatic. Then from here you pull it down. Okay. Tires on this are Bridgestone Dueler 285 60 18 inches. It's way smaller than the imported ones. The imported ones from Dubai, I think they come for 19. They go all the way up to 20, 21 inches, sometimes even 22. Some people, I see people putting 22s in these. Oh, one thing I forgot. Let's open the engine bay. Let's pull the switch. There we go. That magnificent big diesel engine. So this uses the Toyota 1VD FTV. It's a 4.5 liter, well 4461 cubic centimeters, but it's a 4.5 liter V8 diesel. And that is just huge. Look at that. That's a really, really punchy diesel. Okay, let's drive the LC200. First thing you notice when you drive this car is just it's extremely wide. I mean, I've driven Expeditions before, even the older ones that feel a bit wider than the newer ones, the 2001 model, the first generation Expedition. But this just feels wide. It's not as long, nowhere near as long, but you can really feel how wide that is. When you park this car, it's not exactly a chore as long as you park it in reverse. But you'll just notice how wide it is. There's the equivalent of this in the Prado version. Look how much narrower that car is compared to this. This is just huge. But the comfort wise, I mean, going over the speed bump right here, that's really smooth. You barely feel anything. Now I've also driven the Lexus version of this, the LX 570 with all that hydraulic suspension, and honestly it doesn't feel that much better than this. If anything, I prefer this one more. But then again, that one has bigger rims, so that probably explains why it's a bit harsher on the road on bumps. So there, let's try to accelerate a bit. Just find a short stretch of road over here. Okay, there's a car. See, spaces like this in Manila, it's a bit of a chore with this car. I mean, I'm not too sure if I can fit through here. So the owner's back, thankfully, because we can fit, but I don't want to risk it. This car is indeed wide. From the center, you can see how wide that is. Even more. If you have a driver and this is your daily service car, this car is perfect, but I just don't see myself driving this car every day by myself. It's not bad, it's great, it's amazing. It's just, if you work in smaller, like tighter street areas, like let's say Binondo, or somewhere up north in like Caloocan, where the roads aren't exactly the best, I don't think this is the car for you. You see a lot of politicians have this car, but they never drive it themselves because it's just a bit of a chore to drive yourself. Steering wheel's light and all, doesn't feel as big, but it's really just the width. It's not that practical. Okay, now that it's a straight line here, let's try to see how good it accelerates. I'm just gonna floor it. Wow, for a car this big, this isn't slow. That can go. That is a punchy diesel. You can feel the torque right there. It's not fast, but it's not slow, not at all. The engine's more than enough for this car, definitely.